Hello Aries, this is a timeless reading for you, starting with the card Ignorance, followed by Love, Wisdom, and Short-sightedness. And I don't know, but I know they are not next to each other, but these two cards, Ignorance and Short-sightedness, they have a very similar energy and expression. With closed eyes, just ignoring what's around them, not wanting to face certain realities around them. Yeah, so I don't know if that's you or if that's something that bothers you about someone in your environment. It could also be both, of course. I'm also getting there is someone turning their back on love. If it's not romantic love, then if it's just, turning your back on family and friends, wanting to be a hermit, thinking that all kinds of relationships are just to run away from. Oh, it's also ignoring on purpose, so not truly ignoring, like being fully aware of some kind of chaos that is around you in your social environment that you don't want to get involved into, not because you're irresponsible, but because you know it is their own doing and you have nothing to do with it. It's like people having problems with each other, like maybe even very childish problems. We have the wisdom card here. This could be you being wise, deciding, no, I'm not as dumb as these people. I'm going to stay out of all this mess. These people are stupid. And then they blame each other. And I'm not going to be part of this drama. There's also something about finding true love by running away from false love. And again, it does not have to be about romantic things. It can be about your family or friends. Whatever you find, whomever you find, could actually also just be spiritual love that you find within yourself. Or, I don't know, you find a new pet or you find new friends. But there is something very true. Because we have the love card to the wisdom card, there is very true and sincere love coming in for you, but only after you leave short-sightedness and ignorance in your environment behind. If you leave these people. There's also a positive kind of short-sightedness in your reading here. I feel like you might realize that sometimes it is wise to be short-sighted, in quotes. To not take responsibility for other people's mess here. Knowing it is their own fault, not blaming yourself anymore for mistakes that other people make. You also have a lot of birds in your reading. There's an owl, a hawk, and I don't know. I didn't really think of any specific animal, bird when I drew this. Maybe, I don't know if they are sparrows. Actually, this bird looks bigger. Maybe it's a crow. I don't know. Whatever, doesn't matter. They're two super different birds, but just some kind of cliche bird. Cliche bird sounds so negative. No, it's not a cliche. Just a regular bird. I don't know. Just pick one. We have another flying animal here, the bee. But I don't know if that's important. It just caught my eye that you have a lot of birds in here. So maybe that is of significance for you. It could also just represent a lot of air. Let's see. Maybe it's just literally about animals because there are so many of them. birds, bee, mouse, and the mole here on top. Small animals, and the card is also called small or mouse. Maybe there is something about taking care of animals that is very relevant, very important for you right now. Maybe this could also become a new job. But I feel for most of you, this is more of a spiritual significance, that you find something in different animals, animal species, or just different animals around you in your environment. Your neighbor's cat, your own dog, I don't know. That you realize something about their spirit, about their soul. Like they become your spiritual guidance and they become your spiritual teachers. There's also something about this eye here that is drawing in my attention. It's like by looking into animals' eyes, you learn, you have realizations, and I'm suddenly feeling like there's something really dark in my stomach, like something is possessing me in my stomach, something really dark that is trying to drag me down. And when I say me, I'm speaking for you as well, even though this is not my sign here. I feel that with you. And this is something that it wants to destroy your personality, something that wants to taint everything in your life. And it feels like by looking into these animals' eyes, you will slowly become aware of this darkness in your belly that is actually like a living entity with its own consciousness, and it's working against you. Maybe this entity belongs to someone in your life. I don't know. It's not really shown to me here. And this is not the most important thing. I think the most important thing is that you become aware of that entity, and you will become aware of it by looking into animals' eyes. Not all animals are pure and good. I think animals can also be a little bit dark sometimes. Dark-spirited. But you will find the right souls, animal souls around you. And they will guide you tremendously. Like there's a huge spiritual awareness coming in here. I'm also getting something about that something is hiding below the earth. Not necessarily an animal, but maybe you buried something. Not someone, but something, or someone else buried something. I don't know, like children, maybe they make a box full of wishes written on paper and then they bury it somewhere. There's something about that here as well. There's also something about the right timing. Something about nurturing. Let me start with this one first. With this fertility card and the spring card, like something and something small that has to be nurtured. It could be a baby, a human baby, or it could be an animal baby. We don't have the female card here, so it's not necessarily your own baby. You could be a man or a woman taking care of a stranger's baby, or just an animal baby. Maybe you will even find one outside. And this is not just some irrelevant thing on the side. I don't know, it just has a really huge spiritual significance. There's a huge, huge realization and lesson behind all of this. There's also some kind of dominance, a spiritual dominance that you will sense very strongly. There's something that is realigning, reshaping the earth. And as soon as you see it, as soon as you feel it, you will suddenly look back into the past and realize it was always there. It was just hiding in the background, and you took it for granted somehow, not necessarily in a negative way. Was just patiently waiting and looking, silently already slowly starting to do some work. And now this work that this spiritual, very high force has been doing on work is becoming more visible and more obvious. And maybe sometimes when we over years or decades ignored certain signs, now looking back at the last few decades, years, realizing, oh my God, I ignored all of this, but it was already there. It was just very silent, very subtle. And now it's not so subtle anymore. Now it's becoming very, very dominant. There's also something about an airplane that I'm getting that is not flying very high. It is actually flying too low, and it will cause some kind of fear in you. It will give you some stomach pain, like something is happening, something is not going the way it should go. Something feels like a threat. Even though nothing happens, maybe, I don't know if something happens. If nothing happens, like no attack or plane crash, nothing. It's just a plane that is flying a little bit too low and too loud, maybe. It feels like a sign. I was thinking maybe if I should take the spring card literally, but I'm not sure, so I will not say anything about that. All I'm getting from this card is that there's some importance to nurturing and building a nest, not literally. Maybe also not building your home or something like that. I don't know. It's just, it feels like you have to build some kind of protective or safety wall for someone, for something or someone small that you want to protect, take care of. There's a lot of darkness suddenly coming in here, but don't worry, it's like it's not. This is a very worldly darkness, like there is some kind of shift in the world. I'm looking at the cards again from the beginning on with the ignorance card. You will find love and wisdom in this dark time, but there is a lot of ignorance and chaos around you. There still is a lot of fertility, maybe on a very small level, and you know, or you will understand how to make use of it, how to handle this darkness that is coming over the world. I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but I'm feeling it very strongly, like it really rushes through my stomach and through my head. Like there's this huge, huge darkness. You will be fine during all of this. Maybe you will open an animal shelter during some kind of calamity, I don't know. It's just an example. Maybe you will save someone small, if it's a child, baby, or an animal. There's just something that you want to protect. And it brings you a lot of spiritual understanding, a lot of energetic relief, a lot of true love, while at the same time the world is in turmoil. There's just this really huge dark cloud lingering. And you will protect anything, anyone that's helpless and innocent. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.